Are you ready? Are you ready for this reverse plank, knee to elbow? I had fun making this workout. Knee to elbow, bringing that opposite knee, that knee to the chest. Lifting up, I'm in a reverse plank, knee to elbow, making sure that I keep my hips up, keep everything nice and tight. Moving on. Reverse plank, alternating leg lift. Alternating leg lift. The key here is to keep the glutes tight, hips up, core engaged. And as hard as this one is, you want to try and keep that head, neck, and spine in alignment. Lifting from the hip, alternating leg lift in that reverse plank position. This is a side plank, a high side plank, left side, opposite knee to elbow. Now, what makes it high is that I'm up on my hand instead of my elbow. Terry, I know this is going to be a challenge for you, but I want you to try it. The way to modify this exercise would be just to lift up on that high position and just hold without the opposite knee to elbow. Moving over to my right side, lift up, opposite knee to elbow, opposite knee to elbow. You want to take your time. The speed is not important. Again, remember to modify this move, just lift and just hold that high plank position. There are actually 13 exercises in this cycle, or should I say Tabata. Here we're doing a low left Tabata, same knee to elbow, shoulder over elbow, pulling that same elbow to the knee. You can either stack your rest your weight, put your weight on your left heel. Now here, this workout here, we're only working for about 13, I believe it's 13 minutes, 13 or 14 seconds, I believe. And same knee to elbow, right side. So the intensity is in the different planks that we're doing, not in the length of time, because we're doing some new planks here. I want to challenge you. Moving on. So we did our high-low side planks. Now we're going to do a plank. This is a pike with an alternating. I'm reaching for my ankle. So here's the plank, and I'm reaching for that opposite ankle. There we go. Plank, our pike, ankle. This is a new one here. Lift, reach, and tap. I'm high up on my hands. This is what makes it a high plank pike. Moving on to the plank jacks, out and in, out and in. Again, a way to modify this move would be to just do an alternating side toe tap. In any move that you want to modify, I always recommend that you modify it just by holding a plank. Moving on. This is my hip dip. Oh, I'm sorry. Hip dip. So I'm down on my forearms and I'm rotating my hip to the floor. Of course, your knees and ankles, you want to follow along with your hip. Try and keep your elbows down on the floor, your forearms down. This is really good for the obliques. Moving on to my high-low plank, up on my hands, down on my forearms. It's down, down, up. Good. Down, down, and up. The rest is lower too. The rest is no more than 9 seconds. I believe this is just a 9-second rest. So you really just have enough time just to transition to the next exercise. This is a new one. This is a familiar one here. I'm combining the alternating opposite knee to elbow with a high-low plank. Alternating opposite knee to elbow, high-low plank. A strong core is important. I believe that with a strong core, your extremities are strong. Good. Good. Alternating shoulder tap. This is this killer plank part 2. Killer core part 2. Killer core part 2. Go hard or go home. Remember, this is not a 20-second plank. This is not a 35-second plank. This is a 14-second plank with a 9-second recovery or rest. Alternating straight leg lift with a punch. Again, alternating straight leg lift with a punch. This is familiar, alternating straight leg lift with a punch. Awesome. That completes round 1. You have 1 cycle remaining, which is your high head to toe plank or head to toe Tabata. Are you ready? Get ready for the sumo to high pull. Pull that bell under the chin. You can use a dumbbell or a kettlebell. Remember, as you do your sumo squat, you're working your inner thigh, you're working your core, your glutes, and your traps right up under the neck. So this is a sumo squat to upright row, sumo squat to upright row, pulling that weight right underneath the chin. Squatting down, making sure that your knee trails over your big toe. Compound movement here, big move. So we combined our killer core with our H to T, head to toe workout for Friday's workout. Getting ready for my kettlebell or dumbbell swing through the hips. Notice I am bending the knee. I'm swinging the weight through the legs and I'm popping the hips forward. The momentum is doing the lifting, not the arms. I'm pressing the hips forward and making sure that I keep my head, neck, and spine in alignment. Glutes are tight. As I come up, I pop the hips forward towards the bell or the kettlebell or the dumbbell. Inhale, exhale as I pop forward. Exhale as I pop forward. Here you are working for 35 seconds, resting for 10 seconds. This is 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So combined, this is roughly, give or take a little bit over the fit 15-minute workout. But you're tough, you're strong, you're a beast mode, you got this. Here we're moving on to our air squats. Now, if you don't want to do an air squat, the way to modify this would be to squat and come up on your toes. So it actually would be a squat to heel raise. If you're not comfortable doing that air squat, it's a squat to heel raise. That's the way to modify this move. This is Major with Major Fitness, Club Fit 15. You want to follow me on YouTube. Tell your friends. Like, subscribe, and follow, of course. Leave your comments if there's anything in particular that you'd like for me to focus on. This is a new one here. I believe it's a new one. Feet off the floor. This is a med ball toss. Now, my head and shoulders stay off the floor. You don't have to toss the ball up too high. Good. Here I am working my core. I'm working my abdominals, head and shoulders up. So it's a static hold and it's more dynamic with the tossing of the med ball. This is a 6-pound med ball. A way to modify this, if you're not comfortable tossing the med ball, would be to hold the med ball and just do crunches. Hold it up over your head and you're just doing your crunches, you know, basically lifting your head and shoulders off the mat. And moving on. Again, this is the H to T, head to toe, Tabata. So we're working all the movements, all the muscles. This is a standing bent over row. Terry, if you got your 15s, you want to challenge yourself and use your 15-pound dumbbells for this work here. My back is straight, soft bend in the knee, and I'm alternating with a bent over row, tight core, pulling that elbow up past the body. Christina, you may want to jump from 15s to 20. You know, you're here to challenge yourself. I recommend anytime we're working larger muscles that you use a little bit more weight. Don't be afraid to use more weight. That's what tones, that's what sculpts, that's what builds, that is what strengthens the muscle. Getting that heart rate up, now moving back to jumping jacks. Everybody knows that if you can't do a jumping jack, do a low jack. You can modify that low jack just by stepping, alternating right and left. So you're just basically slowing down the jumping jack, or you may want to opt to go down on the floor and do mountain climbs. Just want to get that heart rate up, keep that heart rate up. I'm standing on top of my mat. Terry, this is a good way to absorb the mat will absorb impact if you're doing your jumping jacks on your mat. You could also do a staggered step jumping jack. I think I'll show you guys that one next week. Don't be afraid to jump. Moving on, I have both of my kettlebells in hand for a push press. A push press is it's not completely a full squat. It's a mini squat. And so what I'm doing is I'm using my legs to help thrust the weights up. So you may hear this called a thruster or a push press. This is good to use with heavier weight because again, you're using your legs to help drive those weights up. I recommend a 15s or 20s, 25 or 12s even. You know your body. Start low and work your way up. Don't be afraid to use the weight. The kettlebells that I'm using are roughly about 25, 26 pounds. Here, picking up your med ball, you're doing an alternating forward lunge with a chop. As I said, this is an H to T workout, so we're working everything from head to toe. Here, you're working your nervous system, you're working your core, obliques, you're working your legs. Alternating lunge, chop. Alternating forward lunge, chop. The ball crosses the leg that's in front. Take your time. Speed is not important here. Making sure that I bend both knees. Exhaling as I chop. Making sure that that elbow follows the body. The arms follow my head. Moving on. Again, we're working everything from head to toe. So if you're winded, that's okay. Here, we're going to go for our deadlifts. Notice that my back and my shoulders are in alignment. I'm keeping my chest forward, proud chest, abdominals engaged. Soft bend in the knee as I bow forward. Being mindful as I come up to squeeze the glutes. Glute muscles are the smaller, they're the largest muscles in the body, but they're the most underused muscles. If you want to be, they assist you in everything, in walking and running and lifting. So, and it also takes a lot of stress off of your back, particularly the low back and your hips. So I think it's important to have a strong core, strong glute muscles. Here I decided to do a modified push-up. A reason for doing a modified push-up, I don't believe that there's a such thing as a girl push-up. In a modified push-up, you really want to try to get as close to the floor as you can. So go through a more of a full range of motion. You notice that my elbows are coming up past my back because I'm really trying to get my chest to the floor. So chest, chin, or nose to the floor. Notice I'm keeping my head, neck and spine in alignment, shoulder and hip and knee in alignment. And I'm going all the way down. So Terry, you want to try and go all the way down. Paula, try to go all the way down to the floor. Same for you, Christina, go all the way down. Of course, if you're ready, go ahead and do the military push-up. Mission complete.